Hey guys, how's it going? Michael Troy here. Today we're looking at X-Force number 10, illustrated by Rob Liefeld clone Mark Pacella. So subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Hit that like button and let's get right into it. It's interesting because Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, Mark Silvestri, when they started Image Comics, they sort of created their own like houses, if you will, like Wildstorm and Homage Studios and Extreme Studios, and they sort of did their own like, it was almost like different branches, like they all had their own Marvel comics with their own, groups of superheroes and books, and they couldn't draw all of them, so they would hire guys who drew kind of like them. And Rob Liefeld had a lot of great artists that sort of started under him and were kind of Rob Liefeld clones at the time, or just like really good artists with a great sort of explosive kind of image style. And Mark Pacella was one of them. I think he might have drawn like some issues of Prophet, maybe Cable. I'm not entirely sure on that, but he did draw this issue of X-Force. And it's funny, at the time I was a huge Liefeld fan. I still love his work, especially the older stuff mostly, like from this era. And I kind of like, I don't know, like clones are kind of polarizing in a way that sometimes it's familiarity breeds contempt. Sometimes it's like you get mad at them for knocking them off, but sometimes it's like so good, it's still cool at the same time. So I have mixed emotions about clones, but I do love them. And Mark Pacella kind of like is really cool, and I think I like it more than I did at the time because it kind of made me just want, Rob Liefeld's art. But would Mark Pacella do Doom Force, and maybe that's why he started working with Rob Liefeld, or vice versa? Interesting. Anyway, I mean, at first glance, this could easily be a Rob Liefeld cover, and that's not a bad thing. It is a little more extreme, if that even seems possible. A little looser, too. But, I mean, he really nails, like, the Liefeld proportions and the aesthetic, like, with the facial expressions and the poses. So, as far as clones go, I mean, kind of nailing it. I'll be interested to see if he is... I don't think he's inking this himself, though, which would have made it, like, next level there. I love this here. I love this use of the Zipatone. This is funny because this is, like, Rob Liefeld, like, really rose to popularity, like, kind of, like, making the New Mutants a hit, but then sort of, like, ruining them and turning them into X-Force. It's, like, I feel like we kind of lost New Mutants in the process. And, gave us these characters that I don't even remember their names, like Strife, whatever. He's, is that just, like, Cable, Gideon with, like, that big green long ponytail. So we got Dan Panosian inks, who interestingly is also like an Extreme Studios disciple. He definitely drew Prophet. And I actually, as far as Rob Liefeld clones go, I really always liked Dan Panosian's stuff. And he's a great inker. I always thought that he did definitely brought a lot to the table as far as inks. And he's also interesting to note because he evolved his style, and his style is like super cool and like definitely like at the top of his game and better than ever. Love that thing, Walt Simonson. These graphic print tees were kind of cool. I think they might be knocking them off these days, I'm not sure. That's very like John Byrne Metallo in a way. Kind of interesting. I don't know if I made that connection before. But this is fun. I mean, he's definitely bringing sort of like the X-Force Rob Liefeld aesthetic, where he's doing like a lot of these geometric shapes as sort of like background filler in a way. And it's being colored definitely in that style. The long figure. It's interesting. This kind of reminds me of a little bit of what Eric Larson was doing on Doom Patrol when he first hit the scene. I mean, come on, that's over the top. In a way, to this guy's credit, Mark Pacella's credit, the anatomy's a little, I mean, it's wonky as hell and crazy as hell, But, I mean, it's almost a little more accurate than what Rob Liefeld does. Imagine that. That is just crazy. I love it. All these random characters. All this money that Rob Liefeld just gave Marvel to, like, make action figures and, like, prop IP. Just, like, forever. Boom, boom. This is getting towards the end of the book. I feel this is, like, hitting the deadline. We're getting into, like, 2-panel pages with, like, super close-ups. I don't know. That's still kind of fun. I do love the lettering. Let's give a shout-out to the lettering. Let's give a shout-out to the whole creative team while we're at it. I always try to do that. Let's see. Rob Liefeld plots what? Fabian Nicier's scripts where? Mark Pacella pencils who? Dan Pinocha inks. Chris Eliopoulos, that explains the awesome letters. Dana Morse head colors. Bob Harris, editor. Tom DeFalco. Bob Harris. Super villain. I mean, this is getting super lazy. Like, it started out so good and tight and, like, awesome. But I guess it's, like, a fill-in issue, and maybe it was like, can you clone me and just draw this as super freaking fast as you possibly can? Like, just when in doubt, throw in a bunch of these, like, Image Comics, like Jim Lee sort of reverse highlight kind of shading lines or whatever you want to call them. Richter. That is a good, like, Liefeld Richter. Okay, I feel like we're back as far as the art goes. That's fun. I love this background. Like, this art is fun. I'll give it that. But the story, I mean, what the hell is going on? Is that really the end? Oh, no, I guess not. There. Oh, no, that's a way to end. Like, I know it's not, but could you imagine if that was, like, the first appearance of Deadpool drawn by a Liefeld clone? Look at that crotch. He's got the big, wide, flat crotch of Liefeld down pat. Anyway, how can you not love Deadpool, even if he is just a big Terminator ripoff? But some ripoffs are great. Anyway, X-Force, number 10, by Rob Liefeld clone. Art by Rob Liefeld clone, Mark Pacella. A heck of a great issue. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe to my channel. Hit like, share my content, and I'll bring you more later.